All right. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. My name is Sakuga, as I've dubbed myself on the internet, specifically YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Previously, I called myself Senior Sensei, but I figured that was too long, and I like anime a lot, and I like sakugas, so I just named myself Sakuga. It's a play on words. Don't think about it too much. Anyway, I'm here to talk about uh, drawing, drawing manga for beginners. Now, let me state this first before we even get into it. I am totally a beginner. I'm not a professional in any way. I've just started drawing manga, but I do have a idea or I have a clarification on what it is like to actually be drawing a manga for the first time as a beginner. So instead of a professional coming to giving you tips on his years of experience and knowledge, I'm coming to you as a beginner as the experience to give you the experience of what it is to just delve into it, and that can provide some kind of maybe some kind of motivation for you to just jump into it. It may look hard, but once you start doing it, it's really just about figuring out how your characters want your characters to look, how you want your panels to look, or how you want your environment to look, and just the overall feeling and vibe of the whole thing. So yeah, let's get into it. This won't be long though. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So, drawing manga. You want to draw it? I can't even talk. So, you want to draw a manga and you want it to look good. Well, guess what? Drawing manga comes down to one thing. One important thing. Drawing. You need to be good at drawing or somewhat capable. Drawing manga, you need to have a certain kind of skill level or even creativeness to where your panels don't look ugly but unique and eye drawing, just something that will make people want to look at it longer. So I'm at the place where I'm kind of in the middle of my drawing looks like dirt and somewhat good-ish, kind of. I'm still in that intermediary stage. So I'm no professional, but I'm also not drawing stickmen in my manga. Now there are several important other parts of drawing manga. Of course, that includes the design, as I said before, the whole vibe, and it also includes the story, but I won't be talking about the story here or the character developments. I'm just mainly speaking about the designs and how you want it to look and how you want it to present to the reader's eyes so that they don't just skip off of it the second they see the drawing of the art and all of that. So what I tend to do is I draw a lot of reference from other manga, reference from anime, cartoons even. For my first chapter that I'm doing on my own manga, I drew inspiration from Bleach, from a Thor comic. I drew inspiration from Legend of Korra, heavily from Legend of Korra and Avatar. And I also drew inspiration from Tokyo Revengers, the anime. And I kind of take all those elements and those aspects from those different anime and I just kind of put it into my own thing. So it may not look completely original, but that's where your skill as an artist comes in, where you have to kind of mix it up to where you make it your own thing. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'm trying. So right now I'm inking my comic, and that's something else you need to get into when learning how to make manga. the certain steps that you need to go through, which includes the sketching, or you could say the whole layout. You making your layout of your whole manga so you can plan it out. So after the layout, then it's the secondary sketch to kind of get not the idea. The layout was the idea. What you want to get down is a form in the second sketch. After you finish the second sketch, you do the inking, and after the inking, you add the various things like shadows. The shadows especially, you add colors, you add highlight, you add all the blushes and all that. At least that's for me. That's what I'm seeing so far from other professional artists. So I may get it wrong or not, but that's my whole process, and that's what I'm thinking of doing, of how to make my own manga. Well, I'm making a manga / webtoon. Yeah. So another thing that I'm realizing is, well, not just now, but for a long time, the more you draw, the more experience you get. And that really helps in creating your manga, drawing your manga. Especially for a beginner, as I said before, you want to reference heavily from other professional artists or even real life so that you can get down the anatomy even. Just the proper structures of the body, the whole environment. You want to make sure that everything seems legible. What I've realized is that it doesn't have to be accurate. It just needs to give that idea of it being somewhat real or in real life. But as I said before, I'm not talking about story, but I'm talking about forms. So don't expect anyone to be calling your drawing great if the finger splits up 5 ways or 10 ways. No. Sometimes it's good not to be as realistic as you should, and sometimes just kind of stylize it. At this point, I don't really know what I'm saying, but you get the idea of what I'm saying. And as long as you get the idea of what I'm saying, then I'm satisfied. And you kind of have to take that mentality into drawing manga as well. As long as the reader gets the idea of of the look you're going for, then you've made it, right? So it doesn't have to be 100% accurate, and if you have confidence in what you're doing, right? Even though you don't know what you're doing or don't really know everything on what you're doing, as long as you have the confidence to try it and learn and all of that, then you'll succeed. And that's another thing I wanted to get into: confidence. Oh, by the way, if you haven't realized, I'm just ranting at this point. I don't have a script. This isn't written down. I'm just talking to you as I'm sketching. Even though the sketch might be sped up, I'm sketching or inking out lines right now. So anyway, confidence. Confidence in something that you really need to have in order to get into drawing manga or just drawing overall. Because if you're scared to put down a line, then you really won't reach anywhere close to where you hope. So you need to have confidence in everything you do. Confidence in the paneling, the types of lines you want, the type of style you want. Don't be scared to draw something just because other people draw the same thing in a different way. It doesn't have to be right. It just has to be what would you call it? Sensible? Maybe it just has to have an idea. And as long as it captures an idea, then you're right. I'm not a professional on this whole talking while drawing things, so maybe I'll just end it here. I don't know. But as long as you have confidence in what you're doing, not knowledge necessarily. Of course, knowledge, yes. But as long as you have that confidence to know that you're making a mistake and learn all this stuff, then you'll do fine. So I guess overall, drawing as a beginner for me is it's a, what would you call it? It's an eye-opening experience because you learn so many new things. You learn so many new drawing techniques, paneling techniques. You learn from, or you read other comics just to see how they use their characters and put down their lines, and it's just overall mind-blowing experience. Because if you're starting out as an amateur trying to become a professional, I'm guessing this is how everyone goes through it. Yeah. So drawing as a beginner is all right as well, as long as you have confidence and knowing that it won't be the same if you keep doing it. So yeah, just keep doing it and you'll be alright.